Hey, what's up? It's Chris here from Chris's Sci-Fi Reactions. Today we're back with another Smallville episode. This episode is called Rogue. Last episode was Jitters. Was a pretty good episode. Yeah, I don't think there's too much more to be said. Think. The full uncut unedited reaction is available on Patreon, listed in the description below, as well as my social media accounts, Twitter and Facebook. When videos come available either on Patreon or YouTube, I share onto my Facebook and Twitter accounts, so if you head over there, you can always be notified when a new reaction comes available. Yeah, so I don't think there's anything else. Without further ado, let's just get straight on into this episode. Lufa Hall. Oh, I like the S that's on that chest plate.
You know, it belonged to Alexander the Great. They say the design symbolizes strength and courage.
Can't exactly see myself going into battle with that on my chest.
Darker times call for darker methods. His opponents thought he was invincible.
I didn't know you're such a history buff.
I'm not. I'm just interested in people who ruled the world before they were 30.
Don't worry, Lex. You still have a few years to...
You're not in a cage right now. Now you get into the IA and you get me those files.
Well, is one of them yours? Oh!
You got 24 hours to get creative.
Okay, so he's a dirty cop, I assume. IA, Internal Affairs.
Oh, welcome to Metropolis.
Well, at least that's the impression I get from what I watched of
More or less.
Law and Orders. I mean, stopping it that way could have killed the driver. I guess the driver did fall behind. Oh, great. I'm gonna guess that he's a dirty cop and he's gonna try and blackmail Clark into doing work for him.
Dad, let me help you.
Don't break a sweat.
So, Night Owl, how was Metropolis?
Fine.
Come on, a reception at the Metropolis Museum and it was just fine?
The museum was amazing. It's just...
It's just what?
something happened. It could have been worse. I stopped the bus before anyone was hurt.
Are you all right?
I'm fine.
What if somebody'd seen you do it?
Dad.
The boy off the farm, but she can't take the farm out of the boy.
Sullivan! Is this your idea of a joke? Concerned parents have been calling all morning.
Well, what have you been telling them?
What the EPA and other environmental groups said years ago. The meteor rocks are harmless.
People have a right to know about the strange things that happen in
I'm
this town.
not
The
sure
torch is
they're
a school
harmless.
paper. It's not your own personal tabloid.
Certainly
Are you
not to
censoring me?
Lex.
I'm
to
requiring
Clark,
you to
I
do your
mean.
job, which is to report on relevant school events, sports, dances, clubs. I'm relieving you of your duties. The torch is suspended until I can appoint a new editor.
Damn.
Wait, what just happened?
I think you were fired. Chloe, I'm sure there's something we can do. Metropolis Police.
Oh, I don't know you needed to do that, Clark. No way you needed to throw it that far.
I don't know what they've been feeding you, but that was
Pretty impressive. Not quite as exciting as last night, but I wanted to be sure.
Who are you?
I am your new best.
That has to be some kind of record.
How'd you know about that?
The detective in charge came to see me first.
What'd he tell you?
Not much. Maybe that's what's bothering me.
What do you mean?
Metropolis police usually don't send detectives to investigate traffic accidents. So, I made a call. Turns out the official investigation is already closed. Clark, you really don't want Sam Phelan in your life.
You know him?
Yeah,
Unfortunately, I had my share of legal problems while I was in Metropolis.
You serious?
not surprised about
Expensive.
that.
I'll be in touch. Of course, if you don't agree, I will tell the world what I know. Best case, Clark's under a microscope. Worst case... Get in, kid.
What do you want, Phelan?
Hey, your father came to see me. He seems like a really good man. Always putting his family first. Now, if I were you, I'd start thinking like him.
I assume you've had a chance
Take him
to
out
read
the
my father's
back and
proposal.
throw him
I
into
didn't have to.
the wall.
Oh. So you've added
Squash
mind
his
reading to your many
insides.
abilities.
I know why you're here, Victoria. Sir Harry wants to take over Luthor Corp, and he needs my shares to do it. Your father didn't dream up this little plan, did he? Do you think if you take over Luthor Corp, Daddy will finally give you the respect you deserve? He won't, Victoria.
So what are you suggesting?
Okay.
You came to play on my hatred of...
You open it, and you bring me whatever's inside. You do this one thing for me, and I will never trouble you again.
Oh, yeah,
I know
right.
what you're about, Phelan. Lex Luthor told me.
Well, your friend Lex isn't exactly on the side of the angels. He's got his secrets, just like you. It's apartment 517.
Come on in. What for?
Got a tip from Metropolis PD. You better come and take a look at this. You want to explain to me what a dead body's doing in your barn, Jonathan?
I have no idea. I've never seen that man before.
Ethan, we found this hidden under the seat in the truck.
That is not my gun, and I have no idea how it got in my truck.
I'm sorry, Jonathan, but we're gonna have to place you under arrest.
Dad.
It's all right. Call Bill Ross and have him meet me at the jail.
You're not taking him!
Oh, cool it, Clark. Cool it.
I need you to stay here. And I need you to be strong.
And Clark could rip those cops apart. Of course, that would make problems a lot worse, but he certainly could rip them apart, that's for sure.
I'll follow in the car.
What is it, Clark? You want to kill me?
Yes, go ahead, kill him.
I want him out!
Well, then we both want.
But obviously that wouldn't result in
You
Clark's father getting
have a
out.
lot more to lose. I don't want any more surprises. I'm gonna let you think about last night. Stay close. I'll be in touch.
She regretted adopting me. She stopped the car. I remember because it started snowing. She looked me in the eye. She said it was the best thing she had ever done. She didn't love me any less because I was adopted. But she worried about me more.
That's a nice story.
I'm gonna go. Anybody hurt you and Mom?
And he knows that. But once you've crossed that line, there's no going back.
That is true. Once you kill someone, that is crossing the line. No matter how much you want to. I'm not sure if he wants to help legit, or if he wants just to know the information, or if it's both.
What do you want from me?
That's complicated. After last night, I've got internal affairs asking me more questions than I want to answer.
That's your problem.
No, it's our problem. But our next bit of business is going to be our last.
Look, I don't care. You can tell the whole world about me.
Clark, you may not care about yourself, but think about your parents. Now, your father's in jail on a murder charge. Metropolis PD keeps blueprints on all the high security buildings in the city, so I know this place better than the architect. The security system all runs through this junction box. Open it up.
Isn't it alarmed?
They only alarm the things they think somebody could get through.
We're just gonna have to deal with it when the time comes.
Maybe I should stop using my gifts. That would solve all our problems.
No, I wouldn't, Clark. Your gifts are who you are. You can't live in fear.
Although a little caution wouldn't hurt.
Yeah, but what happened in Metropolis, it would have been
sure
hard.
nobody saw you last night?
I'm positive, Mom.
You deserve it.
Thanks. You know, Lana, I'm sorry I flipped out at you the other day. I just, you know, the paper's kind of my identity, and it's like the only thing that Clark and I do together. And so when I saw you here, nobody ever said I was rational.
Oh, he knows that's Clark. I think that may have been the best episode of the season so far. The other one would certainly be the Hourglass villain. I think the villain in Hourglass and the villain in this one may have been the best. Ironically, they're both human, you know, they have no superpowers, so it's a little strange to say, oh, well, you know, he hasn't got superpowers, it's just a show about Superman. But I do believe that the villains were well done. And yeah, I don't think it's just about them not having superpowers, they're just well written as well, in a good story. Certainly, we also got introduced to the idea that Lex really is increasingly obsessing over Clark and his powers, but we'll see how that goes. It'll be interesting when he does find out that Clark has powers. I mean, will this put a wedge between their relationship or the friendship? It will be really interesting to see. I mean, I really like Lex now. He's a great character. And his friendship with Clark is also great dynamic. And sort of the impression that he's trying to give the people of Smallville and hiding his past is also very good. But let's break this down anyway. We start off, we're at the Metropolis Museum of Art, I think it was. Lex tries to encourage Clark to, you know, try and partner up with Lana, and we're also introduced to this character called Victoria. Here we have a bus driver, seems to have a heart attack or something like that, and Clark ends up stopping the bus, but the way he stops it, it's freaking lucky the driver wasn't killed. He then runs away before everyone gets there, and we also find out that there's a dirty, well, there's this cop that was there. We don't really know. We suspect he's dirty because of the actions he's taking in that park, but we'll just have to see. Then he shows his parents what happened. Martha's quite proud, but Jonathan, he's like, did anyone see you? I really do understand Jonathan's approach. You know, he's trying to protect his son. We sort of have this Phelan character trying to pay people off. Look, well, he didn't really pay him off. He blackmailed that security guard. Here we have Victoria and Lex sort of talking about taking down, you know, their fathers and taking over their business. Here we have Principal Kwan basically firing Chloe because she's printing unsubstantiated stories. So even though we know them to be true, if she can't prove it, it's really more of a gossip column. Here Phelan meets Lex. We find out that Phelan was on Lex's father's payroll to basically clean up any messes. He then drops, I don't know what it was. Was it a tractor or something like that onto Clark? And then basically says, you know, meet me at that overpriced cafe. We'll discuss our future together. Here Clark tells his parents. Jonathan here says, oh, you didn't do anything wrong. So it's nice to see Jonathan sort of coming around. Lex asks Clark, you know, what does he want with you? Then Jonathan and Phelan meet. Phelan blackmails to expose Jonathan's son's secret. Jonathan then uses violence against him. I would do exactly the same thing. It'd probably get me locked up in prison, but I can understand his actions. Chloe is really hurt by the fact that Lana becomes the new editor, and I can understand, you know, the newspaper is sort of her life, and we find out later that it's the only thing Chloe and Clark do together, and really that's why. Phelan meets Clark. They go to IAB. IAB. I'm just used to calling it IAB because I've heard that in the Law and Order franchise. Here we have Clark look at the safe, trying to get the file. He throws the safe onto his car and calls the police. Smart. But yeah, there could be different ways of doing it, but I understand why Clark did it. We then find the police find a dead body in the barn at the Kent farm, and Clark then takes a stand, you know, basically threatening the police, telling them, you're not taking him. And Clark could literally rip those cops apart, you know, and I get it. He's trying to defend his father, and I might do the same thing. We'd both end up in a jail cell, but I can understand Clark's actions. Clark then wants to basically kill Phelan because of what he did. Another thing I totally understand. Lana said when she was younger, she asked her aunt if she regretted adopting her, and the aunt said no, it was the best thing I ever did. Here, Clark basically tells his father about, you know, what he did after he was arrested, nearly killed him. Lex offers to help Clark, but Clark doesn't accept it. Here they go off in the car and Lex ends up following him. They break into the museum. Phelan sets off a false bomb crisis. And when Clark notices that they're outside, he throws the breastplate outside, which will call the guards basically into the museum. Phelan then tries to shoot Clark, but he manages to run out in time, and Phelan is then killed by the security guards. I think I would have preferred if Lex would have killed him. And then we basically get Chloe reinstated back into the paper and find out that Lex has the video footage of Clark running. And we know, Lex knows that it was him, but yeah, we'll see how that develops. Okay, so that was my breakdown of Smallville Rogue. Really good episode, possibly the best one so far. I'm going to give it a 9. I think what would have brought it up to the 10 is if Lex would have killed him. Another thing I didn't mention in the breakdown was basically I liked that bit where Phelan just said go to hell, Luthor, you know, instead of telling him the truth. That was quite good. I don't think there's much more. Remember, the full uncut and edited reaction is available on Patreon, listed in the description below, as well as my social media. If you enjoyed this reaction, don't forget to give it a like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye.